Have you ever noticed how some people seem to hold an almost supernatural control over their surroundings? Not by shouting or demanding, but simply by withdrawing. Without uttering a word, they shift the energy in the room. People start to question, to chase, to feel. Imagine what would happen if you did the same. If instead of reacting immediately to every call, every message, every emotional tug, you chose silence over the automatic response. Retreat instead of explosion. The moment you stop being constantly available, emotionally, physically, psychologically, the world around you begins to change in ways you might not expect. It's as if everything goes into crisis because those around you are used to controlling you through your reactions, your impulses, your predictability. When you withdraw, the game changes completely, and those who thought they knew you suddenly realize they knew nothing at all. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves." Think about this. When you become inaccessible, who really gets desperate? Who gets irritated? Who tries to provoke you just to elicit some reaction? This reveals more about them than about you, showing how deeply you have been manipulated without even realizing it. You keep giving yourself away to please others, to maintain peace, to avoid losing people who were never truly with you in the first place. Every forced yes, every immediate response, every emotional reaction cost you a piece of your energy. And at the end of the day, all that's left is tiredness, frustration, and a hollow emptiness you can't quite explain. That emptiness exists because you are too available to those who don't even deserve a minute of your silence. This is not about turning your back on the world. It's about choosing yourself. It's about embracing what Jung called individuation, the process of becoming whole, authentic, and complete. This transformation begins the moment you realize that silence can be stronger than 1,000 arguments, that withdrawal, when it comes from awareness and not escape, is an act of immense power. So I ask you now, how long will you continue to be controlled by the emotions of others? How long will you react like a puppet every time someone pokes at your wounds? Maybe it's time to cut those strings, to become a mystery, because when you stop being available, everything changes. From childhood, we have been taught that our worth lies in how available we are, how quickly we respond, how often we say yes, even when we want to say no. But here's a truth no one has told you with enough clarity. This excessive availability is not a virtue, it's a prison. As long as you believe you must always be accessible, emotionally or otherwise, you will be manipulated, drained, and forgotten as soon as you are no longer useful. Why? Because being always available makes you predictable, and predictability turns you into a tool. People use you as an emotional emergency button, pressing you whenever they want attention, relief, or validation, then putting you back on the shelf when they're done. You don't notice this because you're trapped in the illusion that being present for everyone will make someone present for you. But it doesn't work that way. Jung spoke of the persona, the mask we wear to be accepted, loved, and recognized. It is this mask that keeps us overly available. You say okay when you're suffocating, respond immediately even when exhausted, explain and justify yourself as if you owe the world an explanation. The more you place yourself at the center of others' stage, the more you disappear from your own. Being available all the time is a subtle form of self-abandonment, a disguised way of seeking approval, avoiding rejection, and trying to control the image others have of you. But this control comes at a steep price. Your peace, your vital energy, given away as if it were infinite, when it's actually very limited. People who want you always available don't want you. They want what you provide: validation, company, distraction, emotional comfort. When you finally change, when you set boundaries and refuse to react immediately, those same people get irritated, accuse you of being weird or distant. It's not because you changed, but because you stopped being functional for them. The cruelest paradox is that the more available you are, the less value others give you. What is too abundant becomes emotional rag. No one respects what they don't have to earn. No one values what is always there. So stop and think. Who truly deserves your time, your attention, your presence? Or better yet, who deserves your absence? But before answering, understand why we react so much, why we give in so easily, why there's this automatic desire to respond, justify, and please. The answer lies in what Jung called psychic energy, and this is what defines your internal world. The mind is not an automatic machine reacting without consequence. It's an energy system where every thought, emotion, and action consumes part of that energy. The question is, are you choosing where your energy goes, or is the world deciding for you? Every impulsive reaction wastes precious psychic energy. Defending yourself against criticism that doesn't deserve it, responding to provocations just to prove you're right, engaging in useless arguments, or trying to please those who don't value you. This is energy spent on what does not nourish you. Jung warned, that which you resist persists. The more you react, the more you bind yourself to the emotions and manipulations of others. People who live emotionally drained are not weak. They are misdirected. And when someone lives exhausted, they become vulnerable. Vulnerability invites manipulative, opportunistic, and emotionally needy people who can sense when you don't guard your energy, when you react to everything, when you try to solve everyone's problems. They take advantage of this without raising their voices or forcing situations. They simply trigger the buttons you've left exposed, and you react, unknowingly handing over your power. A healthy psyche, Jung explained, is one that knows how to keep energy within the system. It means learning to say no without guilt, remaining silent without cowardice, observing before acting. True power is not in reacting. It is in choosing when and how to act, and this is only possible when you know yourself well enough to recognize your own impulses. How many times have you lost sleep over an unresolved conversation, spent hours ruminating on what you should have said, or tried to understand why someone treated you poorly? This is psychic energy being drained without return. You are keeping alive ghosts that should have died long ago, feeding unhealthy dynamics that only exist because you insist on responding. Psychic energy acts like a force field. When well guarded, it creates presence. You enter a room and command respect without saying a word. When poorly managed, you become invisible, reactive, fragile, and the world shows no mercy to those who give in easily. Start observing your own triggers. What makes you react automatically? What makes you lose your center? These are the points where your energy escapes, and these are the areas where you must work. Not to become cold or indifferent, but to become selective, sovereign over yourself. Here lies one of Jung's greatest revelations. When you conserve your energy, you break the projections that others place upon you. This deeply disturbs many because now we enter a dark territory, that of silent manipulation. Opportunistic people feed off your energy. Your unavailability completely disarms their games. You think you are in control, that your reactions are conscious choices. But the truth is darker. Most emotional responses are programmed, and those who understand this manipulate you easily. They don't need to raise their voices or threaten you. They just press the buttons you've left exposed, and you react. Imagine a world where instead of reacting, you choose silence. Where instead of giving in, you conserve your energy. A world where you become a mystery, where your absence speaks louder than your presence, and where your psychic energy is guarded like a treasure. This is the path of individuation, the journey of becoming whole and authentic. It is a journey worth taking because at its end, you reclaim your peace, your power, and your true self. So ask yourself now, how much of your energy have you given away to those who never truly cared? How many moments have you lost responding to others while losing yourself? When you stop being so available, when you choose yourself first, everything changes. People notice. The energy changes. The game changes. And most importantly, you change. This is not about selfishness. It is about survival, authenticity, and freedom. Your energy is your most valuable asset. Protect it fiercely. Choose when to be present and when to be silent. Choose when to act and when to simply be. Because when you stop being so available, you do not lose the world, you gain yourself. If this video spoke to you or opened new perspectives, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What changes have you noticed when you set boundaries or took a step back? Feel free to share your experience. Your story might help someone else. And if you want more insights like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support really means a lot and helps grow this community where we explore the mind, power, and true freedom together. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.